We all know the drill at this point. Modern mobile games either look like the game you see on screen, or they force you to watch ads like this every 30 seconds. The state of mobile games these days was sad until I started collecting the greatest list of underrated hidden gems on the App Store. No longer will you have to search for your own games to try. I've done the work for you. Today we'll be covering 30 great games over a wide range of categories to hopefully ensure there's a little something for everybody. Some categories we've covered before and some are brand new. After today, I'll actually have collected 90 games now, as I've done this twice before. There's a really good chance I've already covered a game you want to see by now. If not, I'm always down to do more of these. It is a blast just playing 30 awesome games, so go ahead and let me know of any good mobile games you'd want to see in a video like this in the comments. I spent 3 hours reading all the comments from my last video, so I promise you I will actually see it and consider it. Without further ado, let's find you some brand new gaming addictions, or if you hate one of these games, then get mad at my jurisdictions. Everyone loves a good, simple, easy game, so as always, we're going to start with our simple starters category. Ever want to be a gunslinging, duel-winning gummy man? Then you might want to try out the game Gumslingers. It's a full-on shootout the moment you raise your gun, so you better aim to kill. The movement of the game is really fun, and perfectly aiming for headshots is always a great feeling. This easily could be super complicated, but as far as I've played, it's mostly the same gameplay each round. You'll play in different environments against different players with crazy cosmetics each time, but you're just trying to kill the other person before they kill you. The longer you play, you start to unlock new gummies yourself, as well as new weapons. The shotgun is pretty fun, I can't lie. And winning a tournament? You sort of feel like the gummy king after that. It's not a perfect game, but the style and personality are very fun, and I bet a lot of you out there are going to really get into this one. Let me know if you unlock the Piranha Plant gummy, that one's my favorite. I honestly have no idea how to pronounce CircloO, but that's my best guess. It's maybe as simple as it gets, just circles, squares, and lines. Holding left or right on your screen controls your little ball, and after hitting each checkpoint, the level will expand. By building momentum or pushing shapes into the right spot, you can pass each point, make the playing field as large as possible, and win each level. I love the look of every level and how it zooms out at the end to see the weird course you just traversed. They are constantly throwing new ideas at you, and just when you think the game can't really evolve any further, suddenly you're pushing piles of squares out of the way, or you're controlling a new circle that can only win by getting a smaller circle, or even a whole pile of tiny circles. And with the new color scheme every level, they really develop their own feeling each time. If you love physics-based puzzle games, you have no choice but to love this one. I'm sorry, it's just the rules. No matter what I think, you'll be pleasantly surprised, especially because it is such a simple starter. Let's face it, most of the best mobile games are over a decade old now. There's a good chance you played these before, but just in case you haven't, or you've forgotten about them, let's check out some of our old favorites, shall we? I used some footage from the game Tiny Thief in my last video, and people really wanted to see more about it, and instead of including it here, I'd really love to make a video on it and all the Rodeo Stars games like Retry and Icebreaker, because those games are so goddamn good and I miss them. Let me know if I should. I also used Drive Ahead music in the last one, and everyone freaked out about how much they love it, so let's play that banger music once more and actually give it a spotlight. I gotta warn you though, this game used to be the GOAT and has definitely been ruined a bit over time. The name secretly tells you every aspect of this game. You control a little car and your job is to protect the head sticking out of it. Your opponents need to get hit first in order to win that round. Win more rounds overall and you take the dub. It's not as easy as you'd think though, thanks to the different vehicles and environments you can get. Sometimes they just screw you, giving your opponent an amazing vehicle and you get something completely useless. But that's what makes this game really fun and really unpredictable. The absolute greatest thing you can do in Drive Ahead is play with a friend. How many mobile games these days let you play with the person sitting next to you on the same phone? I promise you, will have infinitely more fun going up against your friend or your sibling, or hell, make your left and right hand duke it out if you're lonely. This mode is the single reason I will always love Drive Ahead, no matter what. I didn't mean for this to happen, but I guess you've got another driving game to try. Smashy Road is a real classic. You're an OG if you remember this one. You're on the run from the cops, and the longer you evade them, the bigger the vehicles are going to send after you. You can dodge and weave through the streets, you can try hiding between some buildings, but whatever your strategy ends up being, if your car explodes or the police corners you, it's game over. You can also collect money to unlock new vehicles. They completely tricked me into thinking I got a legendary first try too. But hey, a hot dog car is legendary in my eyes. I had a ton of vehicles when I used to play this. I'm really sad I lost my progress. This is clearly inspired by Smashy Road, but I'd say the gameplay is so different it's hard to be mad about that. I know it got a sequel at some point, but to me, the original is superior and I'll never stop loving it. Let me know your strategies for surviving and your high scores. I got over 1,000 here and I'm pretty proud of that. Some people love to play games in landscape mode, while others prefer to continue holding the phone vertically. So our next two categories will feature a bit of each, ranging wildly in the genre of games themselves. Here are two completely different games that got me so worked up, I consider them vivacious verticals. As someone who plays Merge Mansion every single day unironically, I had no idea there was a good merge game I can play instead. Necromerger is pretty much everything you could want in a game. A cool art style, cute monsters you feed to an adorable little kraken guy, and all the merging fun your little dopamine addicted brain could ever desire. I really like that as you level up, you gain more space to place items. It's fun to start really small and over time reach a bigger and bigger area. Your devourer also craves certain items and there are always a set of missions to complete, so you aren't just merging stuff with no end goal, there is plenty to do. And clearly there are more options here I haven't even unlocked yet. I didn't even get to the fighting part of the game until the second day I played it. Now yes, there is an energy system, and for these types of games, I think that's okay. You're not meant to sit and play this all day. You log on, spend your energy, which takes like a total of 2 minutes, and then you go about your day. That's how I play Merge Mansion, and that's how I will be playing Necromerger because holy shit is amazing, and I can't thank you all enough for recommending this to me. You have actually impacted my daily life for the foreseeable future. Ninja Tobu is much more laid back, and not something you'd have to play daily. It is a game that works best holding your phone vertically though, as the sides of your phone act as the walls. You control a ninja that wall jumps back and forth between obstacles, killing enemies and reaching the end of each level, or playing endless mode, which is also pretty fun and has a lot more enemies and obstacles around every corner. I like both modes honestly, which isn't something I typically say. I'm usually all about doing the levels only, but for some reason, I think endless just works well for this gameplay style. It isn't trying to do anything crazy. There is a singular concept in this game and that's all it's gonna be, so I think it should be pretty obvious to you watching if this is something you'll like or not. Games in landscape mode are certainly not as elegant or attractive enough to be considered vivacious. I feel like they're much more down to earth and easy to get along with. Let's try some horizontal homies next. I played this game when it first came out and I thought about it ever since but sort of forgot what it's called. I've been reminded of the title, please touch the artwork, and we're specifically playing the sequel here because I think it's just better. It's also free and the first costs money, so it's sort of a win-win. You play as this little skeleton guy traversing through paintings that are actually paintings. This game has countless works of art inside of it. What a masterpiece. Anyways, the main gameplay is finding hidden objects in each piece. You'll find little characters who each request something of you, like finding hidden cats throughout the city. And once you find them, it'll open something new to do. Some of these characters are so funny, dude. The one guy that's eating a bunch, the other lady who dropped dead next to her praying husband, the lady who teaches you how to play the Tetris theme, and if you think I'm joking, you're a fool! There's also a villain running through and tearing up the paintings, leaving you to fix them as you go. It's beautiful, it's fun, it's funny, it's not too long, but it's not too short either. This may be one of the greatest mobile games of all time, so just play it already. We've seen so many platforms now, I keep wondering how they could possibly get better. And then we get something like Super Mombo Quest, and I can't believe I haven't had this game in my life until now. The movement in this game is so great, it's so much more fluid and fast than the majority of the platformers we played. It's not even really level based, this quest is in a huge world with locations to revisit and explore, and a home base to come back to when you die or need upgrades. Mombo himself is just a silly little guy, his tongue hanging out at all times. There's little gimmicks here too, like trying to collect every diamond in each area, or killing every enemy within a set time frame to achieve a Mombo combo. That alone makes this game incredible. Every single thing I could want from a game like this is in this game, all for free, and I'm having so much fun playing it. It's actually going to take longer for this video to come out because of it. Make sure to not waste too much of your time playing this one, but you simply have to download it now. I kinda typically play card-based mobile games that are super bright and cheery, like Plants vs. Zombies Heroes, which is one of my personal obsessions, and the incredibly popular Pokemon TCG app, which I may or may not be mentioning just so I can show off my cool cards like my Crown Rare and my Double Granny. But when I decided to include a card games category this time around, I ended up finding two games pretty dark and dreary, but don't worry, that doesn't make them any less fun. First up is Card Thief, and right off the bat, I love the presentation. This game visually looks really good. The tutorial is pretty long, but it has to be, otherwise you're going to be pretty dang confused jumping straight in. You are a thief, and your goal is to travel through the castle without getting caught and collecting as much treasure as you can. There are guards everywhere, and you can take them out, but it'll cost you some stealth points. If you run out of stealth points near a guard, it's game over. It's obviously more complex than that, especially with torches added in the mix, but that's the gist of the gameplay. You can also get upgrades and special cards to use, as well as different locations to visit, which is very interesting to me. I'd love to see what new enemies and such could be added later on. This is certainly not the type of card game I would normally play, but that doesn't mean I can't suggest it to all of you. So, I didn't intend for this to happen, I just naturally stumbled upon two really cool looking card games. And of course, they're made by the same developer. Give me your card game suggestions in the comments, and I'll play some other developers' games next time. I don't want to take Card Crawl off this list because it is still really good. This one I personally ended up liking a lot more. There's much less to learn this time. Your character can hold up to 2 items at a time, and can store one in your backpack. You can pick up weapons to kill monsters, shields to block damage from attacks, potions to heal, or coins for your high score. You must remove 3 cards before more can be dealt, which sometimes means taking hits from enemies. There's also a few special cards that you can add to your deck personally, customizing the playstyle you plan to go for. It's really fun, I think. I don't play a ton of card games, so I'm curious if there's stuff similar to this, because I've never seen it before. There's even more modes in the full version if you just can't get enough here. For both these games, I think they just have a nice style and vibe to them, and I'd love to try more games from this developer. Some mobile games are meant to be experienced as a series, and it would be pretty messed up for me to just choose one of them to try. Here are 2 series of games that people love and are great all the way through. The only reason I waited to cover Bart Bonte's Color series is because I'm not sure they're hidden gems exactly. I see them recommended to me on the App Store all the time. But they are really good short and sweet little puzzle games, and I've literally played all of them, so it's safe to say I'm a fan. Each game in the series is a different color, going from yellow to red to green to blue to pink and so on and so forth. He just made purple recently. I wonder what will happen when he runs out of the main colors. He's got like brown and gray left, and then what? Anyways, they all have unique levels, but they all follow the same idea. Every puzzle has little empty spots you somehow have to fill with the color of that game, and that can range from completing patterns, pressing buttons, placing weights, and the tried and true method, tapping randomly until the stage is solved. You can watch ads for hints too, but you're a cheater if you do! Just kidding. What's fun is there's never some sort of tutorial or information about what to do here. You just have to tap around the screen or shake your phone and figure things out for yourself. It's truly crazy to think he's still coming up with new ideas after 400 levels, but if you don't know who Bart is, he's not only a co-star on the popular animated sitcom The Simpsons, but he made classic beloved online games like Sugar Sugar, Factory Balls, and so much more. I'm sure he'll be making games forever, and the quality of these quick and lovely color games definitely get me excited to see what's next. The same reason I hesitated to cover the Color series is why I haven't played any of That Level Again games. It's an idea I've seen in quite a few games at this point. You play the same level over and over with slight changes each time. It's smart and makes for interesting puzzles. The first game is almost an exact copy of the old Flash game This Is the Only Level, only with a dark and sketchy art style. The second game is still the same idea, but has a unique identity this time, even adding a secondary room to explore, much more interesting solutions, and even some text-based puzzles. Definitely a step in the right direction, I'd say. The third game really steps things up, moving past just a singular room and giving you puzzles to solve through an entire course. It feels so much bigger and interesting because of this, despite it really just being more of the same. Then the fourth game puts you in the first game again, but as a new character. It seems to all be the same until you break out, leading to by far the most interesting concept the series has done. I don't want to spoil too much of any of these games in case you're excited to play them yourself. They aren't mind-blowing, but they're charming little puzzle platformers with fun ideas, and they definitely deserve the support. I've included at least 2 cat games in each of these videos. I don't think we really have a choice anymore, do we? There are simply too many incredible cats games that I don't think the category can ever truly die. Or I guess the cats category is its official title. Let's not get too informal just yet. The Fishercat is the type of game I get so easily addicted to. All you're doing is harpooning fish to collect money so you can buy upgrades for your air tank or your gun, or a new boat to travel to a new location. You also want to collect each type of fish, and there's a ton to see. There's even vicious ones that will eat the fish before you can collect them. You'd have to play for quite a while to make it to the next area, trust me, I tried to. But I did get this little bonus dream sequence in space, and that was a blast. There's even a little aquarium builder if you're into that sort of thing. I wasn't sure if I was going to like this game at first, but I generally can't stop playing it now. I think something's wrong with me. I want to unlock these other playable characters so bad. Yet another legendary cat platformer is here, Super Cat Tales. There's a few of these games, but people mostly want me to play PAWS, so I will. Immediately, this looks like one of the cutest, most charming mobile games I've played in my entire life. It reminds me a lot of a Kirby game. But instead of infinite jumps, you have no jumps. All you can do is move left and right, and your cat will jump when it needs to. You can dash into enemies and climb up walls too. There seems to be a story here. I'm sure I'd recognize the cats I'm recruiting if I'd played the previous games. Each cat has a unique ability, and you can swap between them if needed. I made it to my first boss fight, and went and got a stern talking to from my adorable boss, and played some arcade games that are more in-depth than some mobile games I've played before. The next levels are sort of mountainous and deserty, and I even found a secret exit on my first try. If you love mobile game platformers and have never tried this series, I can already tell you're going to love it. Plus, there's cute kitties, so either way, it's sort of a win-win kind of scenario. Puzzle games are my favorite. I'm always going to include them on my list. So for our puzzle games category this time around, these two games are less straightforward as you typically expect. Nobodies is a pretty dark game. You're in charge of cleaning up a crime scene and discarding the body. The tutorial is pretty straightforward. You just shove the body into the hole and then cover it with cement. But after that, you're completely on your own, and mistakes are extremely easy to make. Like, apparently I'm not supposed to kill this guy, silly me. I'm supposed to drug his coffee, throw the body in the fish tank, and let those fish eat the evidence. The levels seemingly only get bigger and bigger. After I stepped on some landmines a few times, I managed to follow a path with my metal detector and reach this base with a big helicopter hiding our dead body and a big old tank in the back. I kinda got lost a bit, to be honest. The game is a pretty good idea, and I'm just a fan of this genre of games, so I had a good time still. There's a couple sequels to it too. I just played the first one, so if you're really into it, there's a bunch more to try now. Just play in offline mode or you're going to be bombarded with ads. As someone who doesn't like chess, doesn't know chess, and doesn't play chess, I was extremely skeptical to include Pawnbarian, but don't worry. You absolutely can love this game as a big chess fan or a clueless idiot like me. I've always wanted chess to be more violent, more chaotic, and we really achieved that here. It feels like a similar idea to Card Thief, but tied to the rules of chess. Each piece still moves you in the same way around the board, but now you either need to kill monsters by bumping into them, or getting out of the way before they attack. You can also pick up pieces with little bonuses, like a shield or an extra attack in the spaces next to you. One thing I never ended up learning was what each enemy does. Sometimes I'd be unable to kill them and I just didn't know what the reason was. I think I did pretty good for my first try though, just losing to the final boss at the end of the dungeon. But I enjoyed it so much I definitely want to beat it now. There's more levels, but that requires the full version, which is $5 FYI. I feel like we've had a lot of those in this video, so definitely be careful how much money you spend on these games. Hopefully I've helped give you an idea of whether you'd be interested in them to do so. Almost every mobile game that has ever existed could be on consoles or Steam or anything, and through making this series, I really wanted to include stuff that can really only be played on your phone. Some obvious stuff is like Pokemon Go that uses the camera and is meant to be played while you're out and about. Well, I'd love to recommend Garfield Go to you all, let's be real, and find some games made for mobile. If you've heard of Enigmabox, I'm sorry, but there's literally just a better version of that game called Blackbox. Unfortunately, this only works on Apple phones. Sorry Android users, but here's why. Each level is a puzzle to solve, except you can't solve them in the game. You might see a symbol like this. Do you recognize it? Enter the settings on your phone and switch to dark mode. Now the symbol shifts. Change back to light mode and boom, you complete the puzzle. Maybe you've copied a secret code you can paste into your notes app. Maybe you could find someone else who plays Blackbox and scan their QR code. And maybe you should try playing the game at different times of the day, but don't cheat! Winnie the Pooh has a great quote for why that's not allowed. Can you already see how amazing this game is? It's like a tech demo for your phone. I found settings I didn't know existed just by solving Blackbox puzzles. Not everything is tied to exploring your phone though. There's one where you have to play the game at different elevation levels in real life, and others tied to your location. It was really fun just having these Blackbox puzzles in the back of my mind, always ready to solve when the time was right. There's not great footage I can get for all that though, and besides, you gotta explore the game for yourself and find out what all these weird symbols mean. It's such a cool game, and obviously it only works on iPhones for a reason. This game also makes you pay for the full version, I'm sorry, okay? While we are including a rhythm category today, Rotaeno is very much a game that could maybe work on something like a Nintendo Switch, but was built to be played on mobile. If you watched my last video, it uses the same idea for the beats. Tap on the blues, hold on the yellows, pretty simple stuff. But then you activate your gyroscope. Now you have to line up the beats by turning your phone while keeping the rhythm at the same time. What a fun idea. You can surprisingly get a pretty good idea of how much I'm turning just by watching here. The numbers in the middle stay level, so it's a good indication of how it turns. I am very sorry if this triggers anyone's motion sickness. Now at the beginning, the turns will be very slight. When there's arrows on screen, you have to do a quick jolt clockwise or counterclockwise, but otherwise it's very nice to you. On the hardest difficulty, however, they did what I was really hoping they would do with a full 360-degree turn. Obviously, you could go halfway and then quickly turn your phone back, but the first time it appeared, I genuinely rolled around on the couch completely, which is so silly and stupid, but what game have you ever played that you got to do a barrel roll IRL? With a lot of these big rhythm games, these songs simply aren't for me, but the movement is so fun it's not a big deal. It's really difficult though, please don't judge too hard out there if you're a pro, I suck at this stuff. Really fun game though, it only costs $1.50, so that's a steal in my eyes. Despite these games being on the Play Store too, Apple has deemed them hidden gems in their own category on the App Store. Last time I went through and found games I didn't think were that amazing, which seemed wrong of me, so I revisited once again and found 2 games I actually want to recommend you all. If you're a math nerd or maybe a devil worshipper, or both, you're gonna love the Devil's Calculator. It's fun to have these hand-drawn cutscenes here, gives the game a bit of a story. Your goal is always to reach 666 in every level, but you have to get there using the mystery function. Your job is to figure out what that function is. The first level is as easy as it gets. You add 4 to the number you input. Second level, everything is multiplied by 100. When you're working with big numbers, there's a built-in regular calculator you can use too, which is pretty funny. Now I'll be honest, a lot of the math-based ones I just beat by guess and check, which isn't necessarily wrong, but you also don't get to learn what the function was when you do it that way. Like level 10, I had no clue why this was correct, but it was. My favorite is the non-math related ones. There's a pattern here that isn't logical mathematically. Maybe every digit is being subtracted by 3, so 999 would equal 666, stuff like that. I'm so sad to say that, again, you have to buy the full version if you like this game. I swear this was not intentional, it just keeps happening. Go try it and see if you think it's worth paying for, I guess. Now, as far as I can tell, Puzzle Wizards is free, no full version required, finally. And I get to create my own character too? There's so many options for my little wizard. It's also one of the few match 3 games I've ever played that I saw potential in. By participating in these little mini games, you can collect resources to build your village. You can get new shops and locations or little items to place wherever you'd like. There's also big online worlds to explore and find treasure from. And you can meet real people, or at least that's what they imply. It could just be a computer player, who knows. But they can tag along with you to make things easier. For example, there's more than just match 3, they have little battle modes too. And in these battles you can work together with someone who joins you. That's a very cool idea. Maybe after a while, playing these same match 3 games over and over would get boring, there's not a whole lot to it, but just the idea of doing this to build a town the way you want to build it is very neat. I also just like the personality of this game, it looks good and the characters have fun designs. It won't be for everyone, but with the plethora of phoned in, crappy match 3 games out there, it was cool to find a bit of a diamond in the rough, I thought. There are so many word games out there, but I feel like 90% of them are just derivative at this point. Here are 2 from our word games category that you can't find anywhere else and stand out among the rest. I almost included Words Collide in my very first Hidden Gems video, and now we're finally getting around to it. I can't think of another word game that uses an upgrade system like this, but it works so well. It's a pretty simple premise, you just spell words with the letters given to you. If there are multiple words that overlap with the same letters, you can still make both. The bigger the word, the more points you get. They even visualize this with little books, and not so little books for spelling words like pleading. There is a multiplayer mode where you and your opponent can each place your own letters in the middle area, or single player with just 1 line of letters for you to work with. You start out with very few letters and barely any turns, but as you play you earn coins and can buy upgrades. They start simple, just giving you more letters to work with or more time, but eventually add new ideas. Here are missions to complete so you can earn XP faster. Here are new mechanics that completely change the way the game works and allow you to get even bigger high scores. It just works so well, it very gradually and organically allows you to learn each component of the game rather than just giving it to you all at once. You not only have something to work towards, but the game evolves because of it. Words Collide is so simple but still so genius, I'm a little hooked. Gubbins proudly proclaims itself to be known as Scrabble on acid, and that description alone was all I needed to hear to make me want to play it. And it is by far my favorite word game I've ever played. On paper, there's not really any rules. You get letters and you can make whatever words you want. You can spell swear words and names and stuff too, it's awesome. There are occasional power-ups and obstacles you must deal with, forcing you to change the way you play a bit. I think the goal is for high scores, so ideally you'd want to make as many words as you can and then collect them all at once to build up a multiplier. However, at the end they let you make little designs with the words you spelled, and by playing more you can unlock more backgrounds and stickers and stuff. Admit it, Meddling Woke Demon would be a sick band name. I just love the freedom this game gives you, and the presentation is really nice. You're supposed to only play once a day or something, but you can just change the time on your phone and play as much as you want. I've included quite a few paid games on this list, as they're usually just higher quality and easier to recommend. But for our paid games category, here are 2 games I'd be hesitant to purchase without knowing I love them first, so that's why I'm doing that job for you. Bossgame is $7, which is obviously pretty cheap in comparison to most things, but mobile games are usually not so expensive. People really recommended it, and I wanted to see it was really worth such a high price. It's described as lesbian devil hunting action, and yeah, I'd say that's fairly accurate. It's a pretty story-heavy game, featuring our 2 main protagonists, who just so happen to be girlfriends. You get to know them both and their personalities and the dialogue, then fight as them both during combat. I really love the fighting in this game, it's unlike anything I've played before. You control Sophie with your left hand and Anna with your right hand, and you can either use small attacks, longer charge attacks, or you block by holding on their face. If one gets KO'd, you can revive them, but it takes a lot of your energy and is always pretty risky. Each fight is against a new boss with new attacks, so while you may not always win on your first try, you can go back in after learning their attack patterns. Obviously, that is the main draw of this game. It is called a boss game after all. But if you're big into stories and enjoy the art style, well, chances are you're gonna fall in love with this game. I really like the combat, but so far in the story, nothing has really got me invested, so we'll see how much I continue to play in the future. I'm sure it's very long, and if you played all the way through, it would be more than worth your $7 purchase. Long story short here, Camobox has made the Bacon game and a ton of other extremely high quality games, and I could literally recommend any of them. But I saw they made a brand new game called PBJ the Musical. And it looks so strange and unlike any game I've ever played that I had no choice but to play it here. It's $4, so again, let's see if it's worth the price. Now, watching me play is going to truly be a nightmare. This is not a game you can watch someone else try to play. It will be frustrating and maybe even sickening. And the worst part is, it's a musical, so not being able to hear it is going to ruin the experience.
That's what I'm gonna be when I grow up.
That's what she's gonna be when she grows up.
This is literally an interactive musical, and your job is to get the main characters through each stage. There are some parts of the level you can move around to push the little strawberry or the little peanut to the next point. It is so well made and so cute, and I want to love it, but if I'm being 100% honest, I got nauseous and a bit frustrated trying to get through it. I'd almost rather pay $4 just to watch it play out, because I'm genuinely curious how these 2 characters will eventually become a PB&J. Is it a Romeo and Juliet situation? It sort of seems like it. Every strawberry scene is super bright and sung by a female lead, and every peanut scene is black and white with a gentleman peanut who eventually gets cracked in half. The kid narration really brings it all together too.
Far away from the sound of celebrating confectionery, the salty peanut discovers a bitter truth.
I want to love this game, but I need to take breaks in between because I'm not joking, I got nauseous from it. Ended up just stopping now and again, and it made my experience a lot more pleasant. It's very short, so don't expect anything crazy either, but don't sleep on this game. This is art, and people clearly put a ton of effort into it. We finished each of these lists with our not so hidden category, which we'll do today as well, but first, I'd like to try the opposite. I kinda need to repent for clickbaiting with Geometry Dash and Battle Cats, 2 insanely popular games, so instead of just 2 recommendations, here are 4 games that have almost no reviews that definitely deserve more love. This is the extremely hidden category. First is Samurai Shaver, which is totally free and only has 13 reviews on the Apple App Store. It's a very quick and mostly painless rhythm game. Well, painless for us at least. These poor men being shaved better hope I have good rhythm. I mean, this is literally it. Just a fun little idea that reminds me of a Rhythm Heaven or WarioWare minigame. You cut the hair on time with the beat, just repeating the same rhythm shown a second earlier. Each level has a different song, and once you get towards the end, it's not going to be as easy as it looks. The last level has 22 guys and so many rapid fire sections. I like at the end how it even shows you how many you shaved and how many you sliced. The absolute best part of this game is the music. I would absolutely use any of these as background music for one of my videos. They were all made by the creator, and there's an option to just listen to the soundtrack in the game, complete with little descriptions of the process of making each piece. It's not a complex game, but I'd say it is extremely underrated. There's a better chance you've heard of Moonleap, as it's also available on Steam and was much more popular there. On the App Store though, it has 1 review. That's crazy. It is a $5 game though, so with barely any reviews, it's pretty hard to make a case for people to want to buy your game, I'd bet. I mean, just look at the opening cutscene. This is an extremely beautifully stylized game. It seems to be a puzzle platformer where your goal is to collect all the flowers in each level. The problem is, every time you jump, you switch from orange to purple, changing the level structure too. At one moment the ground is completely safe, and another there's spikes everywhere. I love the little additions we see later on, not just the enemies, but the flowers becoming sentient and running away from you. It reminds me of the goofiness of Mario Wonder, it's such a blast. There's also a ton of cool secrets. I got into this weird room where there's a hidden puzzle to jump a little later than last time you jumped about 8 times, symbolized by the lights up top. And you get a brand new character for this. I like the little moon guy better, but that's so cool. When you finally get comfortable, bam, everything has changed and now moving left and right changes the level. In some ways it's way more difficult like this, but you can also cheese the game a little bit. I feel like this was not the intended solution here. I 100%ed it in one sitting and is probably my favorite game in this entire video. Moonleap is so full of personality and fun level design. It was worth way more than $5 and sure, maybe get it on Steam if you prefer, but it's great on mobile too. Shadow Trick is similar but offers a much different gameplay mechanic, playing as your shadow. I love that very much, suddenly transitioning to the background and jumping on the negative space. You can use this to get past obstacles like fire or bypass these glass blocks that don't have a shadow. Screw water levels, I can just walk down here. There's unique shadow enemies though that can really make it tough to stay back there. It can get a little confusing at times, but I'm sure the more you play, the more slick you get at everything. I like the style too, it's not super detailed but still very cute. You can only take 2 hits before you die, so this is not an easy game either. The demo version lets you fight the first boss, a little coin pouch, and then the rest of the game is behind a paywall, as you've gotten used to throughout this video. Go give the first set levels a try and see if you want to keep going. It's pretty well done and such a great concept for a platformer. Our last game in the category is a spooky game, making up for my lackluster spooky category from our last video. Moth Lake costs $4 and only has 8 reviews on the App Store. Again, you can get this one on Steam, but it's nowhere near as well known as Moonleap was. It's actually most popular on the Play Store, probably because you can get it for free there. Anyways, they don't even give you a second, there's immediately a big scarecrow monster at the foot of my bed. There's definitely going to be flashing lights in this section, by the way. Protect your eyes, please. As you traverse through the house with your dog, he runs outside and we foolishly follow. My character apparently hates scarecrows, and if all scarecrows look like that, I think I'd hate them too. Now, we really start to get chased. This guy isn't even playing around anymore, he'll just kill you. We hear breathing in this log, so of course I wanted to see what was in there, but apparently that was somehow the wrong choice. We get chased through a sewage pipe, and after this, I'll be honest, I got confused. There's a walkthrough button in the menu, and it's really cool because it jumps to the exact part in the video you're at. How'd they do that? We stare at our doll as we complete the first chapter, and that's where I'll wrap up. This is a pretty big game, I think, and I'm definitely curious what the hell is happening because it just drops us in this world with horrific scarecrow monsters. And definitely don't hesitate to try it on Android where it's free. Alright, now that we've covered some genuine hidden gems, let's play Mindustry and Monument Valley. Let's end with our not so hidden category. So people love this type of stuff. If you're addicted to Factorio, then I guess you just love these kinds of games. I am not one of those people, at all. I am solely here to talk about Mindustry because people love it and think it is very good, and I can promise you this gameplay won't be exciting or well done because I literally have no goddamn idea what I'm doing. So if you actually like Mindustry, you'll hate this, and if you don't like me, you'll still hate this. This section is for nobody apparently, but here we go. The idea is to collect resources to build supply chains for your weapons and defense against oncoming waves of enemies. Building satisfying and efficient systems sort of seems to be one of the main draws. Of course, getting further in the campaign, discovering new resources and stuff to build to make everything you own work better and more seamlessly, that's what Mindustry is all about. I think. If I'm wrong, don't hesitate to correct me. I'll try to heart some comments from fans of the game who have a better understanding of all this. My game broke before I could finish the first area, so I think this might be a sign to wrap this up. Now, Monument Valley, on the other hand, in my opinion, one of the greatest mobile games ever made. Now that I can explain to you confidently. It's so simple, you just climb towers and get squawked at by crows. It seems so basic and uninteresting on paper, but the mind-bending optical illusions that help you cross seemingly impossible gaps and create walkways that don't make sense is oh so fun and satisfying. Not to mention, this game is just beautiful. It's pretty and fun to look at and easy to play all the way through in a single sitting. You weren't playing Monument Valley for difficult puzzle solutions. You play to enjoy the optical illusions, take in the pretty levels, and experience a game unlike any other. I wouldn't want to spoil too many of the levels for you if you somehow never played it, but trust me, if you think the early stuff looks cool, it will only get better. 90 well-made, high-quality mobile games have been found, tested, and shared with all of you. Don't you dare complain about not having any good games on your phone. At this point, that's your fault, not mine. Today's themes seem to be dropping some cash for some quality content, which is fair, but the other videos did have a lot more free games if that's more your style. A lot of these games I won't be buying the full experience for. I tried the demo and was satisfied to never play again, but of course, every game will have its audience, and that's why I have to make sure to still include them here. Not all 90 games are going to look good to you, but realistically, by now, I've hopefully found a new obsession for you, and I'd love to hear which game that was. For me, it's Necromerger and Moonleap, without a doubt. Don't forget to suggest more games because I'd love to make more of these, but I'd also be cool with ending the series here, so let me know which way I should go. Thank you all for your support on these videos, it's been a blast. If you want to help me afford more of these mobile games to try in the future, you can become a member or join my Patreon. Members get shoutouts though, so here we go. Thank you Patrick Barjan, Keep, Galguy, Jeb the Legend, Cheaper Ying, Test Monkey, Callum Ford, Perska Banana Checky, Mr. Odell, Timur Kurnov, Aaron the Ghoul, Freakish Smile, Ceramic Tiger, Geminot, Lewis, MD Switchy, Omegon, Jonathan Biscoff, Lavatane, Green Man Yeah, McCrazy, Bright Streak, OK, Mirai, and Dante. And welcome back, Skibbity. I really did try to give Mindustry my all. I can't believe it actually stopped working on me. Or maybe it was fine and I'm just an idiot, which is 100% possible. If you hate Monument Valley and love Mindustry, please talk with me about it because I am the complete opposite and I just love to talk to my real life doppelganger. Who wouldn't want to do that? You can watch ads for hints too, but you're a cheater if you do. Just kidding. 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 Just kidding.